Hello, and welcome to Auntie Sandy's Storyland. Please join us at our new home on the Lotus Prism Network at patreon.com. Our story for today is The Donkey and the Rock by Beanie.
A long time ago, in the land of Tibet, with mountains so high they seemed to touch the sky, there was a king who was an honored and a just man. From the tallest mountains to the deepest valleys, he was known for his fair judgment. On a mountain ruled by this wise king lived two poor men. Each man was good and honest and did the best he could to support his 10 children, wife, mother, father, uncles, and aunts. One day, one of the men started to walk to a village with his 10 children playing and dancing along the way. The man was carrying a jar of oil and selling the oil as he went. Soon, the man grew tired and set his jar of oil on a rock while he rested. As he lay there, his neighbor came down the mountain with his 10 children playing and dancing along the way, driving his donkey in front of him. The donkey was covered with a pile of wood so that he looked like a little mountain himself. The poor donkey didn't see the jar of oil sitting on the rock. As he went past the jar, he knocked it off, breaking it into a million pieces and smashing the oil all over the place. The man who owned the oil was very, very angry. He blamed the donkey's owner. The donkey's owner said he wasn't the one who should be blamed. The donkey should be blamed. The man with the oil said it was all he had in the world to sell for food for his 10 children and his wife and his mother and father and his uncles and aunts. It wasn't his fault the jar was broken. Both men shouted and quarreled and argued and jumped up and down. Their 10 children shouted and quarreled and argued and jumped up and down. Finally, since no one could agree, the men decided to go to the king for help. The king questioned them carefully about the matter and decided that neither man was to blame. They were both good and honest men who took great care of their 10 children, wives, mothers, fathers, uncles, and aunts. Since neither one was to blame, the fault must lie with either the donkey or the rock. The king sent his men to arrest the donkey and the rock. The poor little donkey was locked up with chains around his neck. The king's men captured the rock and wrapped chains around it too. Soon, the news of this peculiar case had spread throughout the kingdom. When the children, wives, mothers, fathers, uncles, and aunts heard that their great king had arrested a donkey and a rock, they thought he had surely gone crazy. The king announced that the case would be tried the next morning. A great procession was held with flags and banners, trumpets and cymbals. The idea that a donkey and a rock could have a trial in court made no sense to anyone. But, curious to see such a bizarre spectacle, people rushed to the courtyard. The king arrived and took his seat. Then he instructed his guards to shut and lock all the gates. Finally, the trial was about to begin. The king said, "As you know, there is no law by which to judge a donkey and a rock. So why have you come to see such an absurd thing? Now, because of your silly curiosity, each of you must pay 10 coins before you may leave." The people, looking very ashamed of themselves, but glad to be freed, handed over their money and slipped through the gates. After the last coin had been collected, the king gave all the money to the man who had lost his oil. The donkey was freed, and the rock returned, and the court was closed. Both men went home happy. The king continued to rule the land justly and wisely, and from that day on, the people tried not to let idle curiosity get the better of them. And they never forgot the lesson they learned from the trial of the donkey and the rock.
That is the end of our story for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Join our exclusive Storyland membership on the Lotus Prism Network to get special appreciation bonuses and rewards as a valued member of our listener team. To join our membership, go to patreon.com/the Lotus Prism Network. For those who like the book we read today and would like to purchase it, please click the link in the description. Follow our Facebook page so you can find us on all your favorite social media and share with your family and friends. Thank you for your support. We'll see you next time on Auntie Sandy's Storyland.